Hello everybody, and thank you for tuning in to this episode of the World Through Electrospecs podcast. If you hear something that you think you would like to see from this particular episode, please feel free to check out the video version of the podcast or check out the show notes, all of which can be found at TWTEpodcast.com. Enjoy the show. Hello and welcome to the World Through Electrospecs podcast. My name is Caleb.
And my name is Pete.
And welcome back to the show. We're back.
Yes, we are. It's been a little bit a hiatus, if you will.
I'm going to have to fade this video out because it's going to be super distracting for me if I keep this rolling. So what's up? How have things been going for you?
Pretty good. I've been busy, not busy, very busy. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. You?
Yeah. This is pretty much the same. Pretty much the same.
Yeah.
So yeah, we haven't recorded in a while. We have been very busy. We went on a short hiatus, I guess, but this episode we're not going to be really looking at any trailers. We're just going to talk about what we've been up to, because I've had a lot of stuff going on. You've had a lot of stuff going on. Just talk about what we've been up to lately and what we're planning on doing moving forward.
That sounds like a great idea.
In life and with the podcast.
Yeah. Get everybody caught up, if you will. Well, our listeners, our viewers, what are we up to now?
I don't know. Not much. I think we've probably gone down since you guys are going to see a little bit of behind the scenes.
Oh, this is good. Okay.
If you're watching the video version of the podcast, I'm pulling up the RSS subscriber on Squarespace, and it's kind of cut off
a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, it's
I don't know.
It's
definitely going down. April. Well, no, it actually stayed pretty nice. It dipped down to pretty bad around mid-March, but no, we've been having a decent amount of subscribers. So I don't know.
Actually, not bad. Yeah.
A good portion of those are, just repeats from the feed being picked up by multiple different services. But
sure, right. Well, not bad though. Not bad at all. So, So anyhow, a little time away. Really, it didn't seem to cause too much of a downslide in our fan base here, fandemonium.
Fan base. Do we have fans? Is that a thing that we have?
Yeah. Well, mine's running. It's in the background, so if you hear any extra noise, that's what that
is.
So yeah. All right.
Anyway, so what have you...
Do you talk first? Do I talk first? How does this work?
I can talk forever if I get into it, so...
Yeah.
You talk first. What have you been up to?
That was my Poe...
Your po boy routine?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So when's the last time we recorded? We recorded, I think, the very end of 2018.
I think so.
It is April of 2019 now. So we've been on about a 3 to 4 month hiatus.
Yeah, it was in January, I believe. We did...
January? When we did... What?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Which I haven't seen yet. But I did.
Is it out already?
It's in theaters.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Wow. How did I miss that? That's another thing. With everything that I've had going on recently, I have not been doing really good at keeping up with what movies are in theater. Sorry.
Yeah. No, me too. And me too. It's a tired day. Day. But I got to see Bumblebee last night. Watched that with my wonderful wife.
Is it the first time you've seen it?
Yeah.
Man, that took you a while.
Yeah, it did. Captain Marvel.
Well, I thought that it might be a little bit too late to see if Ben would join us on the podcast again to talk about our Bumblebee thoughts. What if?
Yeah.
But if it took you that long to see it, maybe it's not that far fetched.
No, I guess not. It's fresh in my mind, though.
It is fresh in your mind, yeah.
Fresh in my mind. Yeah, I've finally seen Captain Marvel,
which was good.
Which was good.
I loved it.
Good. I think we're gonna try to watch Aquaman. I don't know. Question mark.
Ugh. Okay.
We'll see.
Have fun with that.
Yeah. Yeah, the teaser trailer at the end of Captain Marvel was really enticing, so that'll be fun.
Well, I mean, all it did was establish what we were expecting, but well, there were two scenes after the trailers. Did you see both of them? You're giving me a look that tells me no.
Maybe not.
There's a scene after like the graphical trailers, or after the graphic credits.
Okay.
Which is the one you're talking about with the pager and Where's Fury and all this stuff.
Right.
But then there's another scene if you wait all the way until the end of the credits after it tells you like the wildlife preservations that they worked with and stuff like that. You know, the very end of the credits where it shows the logos of all the companies they worked with. There's another scene after that.
Maybe I left.
You probably left. It's not really that much of a spoiler. It's just funny. So I'll just go ahead and say it right now. It's really not a spoiler though. It's just Nick Fury's desk and the cat jumping up on the desk and throwing up the thing that the cat swallowed. Doing the classic cat like hairball. Yeah.
Oh, that would have been neat to see.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
I did leave. I didn't see that then. I've been traveling a lot.
Yeah.
Been leaving the Central Arkansas area, was up to Indiana for a little bit, went all the way up to Buffalo, New York for a few days.
Stayed at my place for a night.
Yep, stayed up, stopped and visited you. We did the visit thing instead of the work thing.
Mm-hmm. Which
just
was cool.
recently, just recently I returned from Mobile, Alabama, right on the Gulf Coast.
They got leprechauns there.
What?
I think I've shown you the video before, but I'll show it to you anyways.
You may have.
Or maybe, you know what? It probably wouldn't hurt. I could just pull it up right now. We could watch it live on the recording. Leprechaun. Okay, keep talking.
Okay. Yeah, highlight your text. There you go. That was work related though. I was down there doing some guest speaking, running some workshops. I did a typography workshop down there. I spoke to students at the University of South Alabama. Had another speaking engagement where I spoke to the community in the local AIGA chapter. So that was a good visit. But that's what I've been up to.
Here, you were in Mobile, Alabama?
Yeah.
This is where you were. Tell me if you saw the leprechauns. Here we go. We're going to play this.
Mobile. Okay.
Come on. Well, just in time for St. Patrick's Day, crowds are coming by the dozens to get an up-close view at what some say is a piece of Irish folklore.
Some people in the Crichton area of Mobile say a leprechaun is taking up residence in their neighborhood. A leprechaun. NBC 15's Brian Johnson has more.
Can you hear the audio on your end?
Curiosity leads to large crowds in Mobile's Crichton community.
That's weird.
Many of you bringing binoculars, camcorders, even camera phones to take pictures.
To me, it look like a leprechaun to me. All I gotta do is look up in the tree. Who else seen the leprechaun? Say yeah!
Eyewitnesses say the leprechaun only comes out at night.
So
yeah.
So for all the listeners,
no, it does. The audio does play through the
the
recording. You just can't hear it on your end for some reason.
Yeah.
But I think I showed you that video before.
Yeah, I just want to let everyone know that is not what to expect when you go to Mobile, Alabama.
There was a guy in that video that had he was standing on the street corner with a wooden flute and a bulletproof vest, and he's like, "This here is a magical leprechaun flute. It was handed down from my great grandpappy." He's like, "This is a vest. It wards off spells." Yeah, that's hilarious video. And then the artist's rendering of the leprechaun is just like a smiley face with a little hat on.
Yeah.
On yellow striped paper.
Yeah, that's just crazy. That's not what you expect.
No.
It was a nice area. I liked it. I don't know. It was weird because I got some different people telling me like, "Oh, here's what to watch out for." And it wasn't the case. That wasn't the case at all down there. It was really nice. Well, I'll say that, but I'll also follow that up with rain. It rained pretty much
a lot.
Yeah. When I got in late on a Wednesday, it was fine. But the next 2 days and a Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, it was just rain, just constant rain.
Gotcha.
And they're like, no, that's normal. It rains a lot here. They have more rain than Seattle. They're just not known for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's Mobile, Alabama, who's spreading the word, So,
I've got some family in Huntsville, Alabama.
Oh, okay.
I don't know where that is in relation to.
I don't know. Mobile's just it's weird because Alabama's this kind of long rectangle, but then right at the bottom, Florida said, "Fine, you can have a little bit of coastal land," and they gave them this little hook of a piece of a coastal land, and then they said, "We're taking the rest."
Right.
It's kind of weird.
That is kind of weird.
That's where Mobile is, though, right there on the coast.
Oh, really? Okay.
Well, coastal, yes, but they're more on the bay than they are on the coast, if you will. Like the cities, I don't know if it's called the Mobile Bay, but the city's right there on the bay, and the coast is another 20 or 30-minute drive south if you wanted to be true coastal shoreline. So that's what I've been up to. I guess another thing that's been going on for me is working on doing some podcast planning. I'm going to have my own podcast I'm going to be hosting coming up here soon.
Nice.
Yeah. That'll be exciting.
Are you ready to share details of that yet, or
do
you have details set up yet?
Yes. So I did a
social
recording.
media accounts, websites, that kind of thing.
Not entirely. I'm almost there though. Website is set up. I do have.
Sorry.
I do have. It's all right. I
gotta stop playing with this measuring tape.
Right. I do have a URL for the podcast. I've recorded the first podcast. Don't tell anybody. I'm going to re-record the first podcast.
Okay.
It's fine, but it's not fine. I'm just going to do some adjusting and be more direct and to the point and try to be a little bit more casual. I get too tense when there's a microphone in my face and nobody's listening to me and I'm trying to record something. I don't just know how to have a good conversation. Well, who knows how to have a good conversation by yourself?
Right.
You know what I mean? You look sharp, by the way.
Thank you.
Audio listeners, tune into the video, please.
Tune into the video?
Tune in.
They're falling apart.
Right, the old VHS.
Yeah, I 3D printed some glasses frames, and I just haven't put them together or put lenses in them yet.
Oh, nice. So the podcast is called The Designed Podcast.
Mm-hmm. But it's spelled like design ed, like design education.
Right.
Because it's design with capital ED, which is that's a fun. I like that play on words.
Well, thank you. Yeah. So that's how that's going to roll out. It's going to be the tagline is called "Creating Success in Design Education." Let's see what shows up. Nope. That one is a very excellent podcast as well. They got the colon in between. So just type in your browser URL up top. I don't think that's going to show up. Hey, oh my
Episode
gosh,
0. Oh, look right here.
Whoa.
There it is. I still love that logo too.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. So you could actually click on that and listen to the first episode. Those that may be catching this after we've recorded, this might be changed, just so you know. The Design Podcast. In this episode, our introductory and trailer episode, we're going to talk about the who, the what, and the why.
The who, the what, and the why. Cool. Yeah, people who are listening to this show should definitely go check that out if you're interested in design. What exactly you're going to be talking about on the podcast?
So if you go to the website, it tells you, but what am I trying to do? Get traction on my website here or what? No, so we can read it right there. It's for educators, mentors, students, and practitioners pursuing success in their work. It's creating success in design education. So I'll be primarily trying to speak with design educators about being design educators and talking about having a successful design program or classes. Mm-hmm. That's like the big overarching dream of the goal, but I know it's also going to be, I'm going to be talking to professionals that hire students, right?
Nice.
And I'm going to ask them, what do you expect students to know, and what do you expect them to learn in the classroom? When you were a student, how do you think things have changed, and different things like that, to kind of talk about design education, because I think we're in this area where it's changing. The curriculum needs to change. How we teach in the classroom definitely needs to change. Students have changed. So we just got to try to keep on the pulse of that. So when I was down in Mobile at the University of South Alabama, I ran into a faculty member down there. Her name is Diane Gibbs. And interestingly enough, she actually runs a podcast called Design Recharge. And hers is more about how do we stay energized and charged up as designers. So hers is not necessarily education based, but oftentimes they end up talking a lot about, keeping motivated in education as well. So, but she was great. She talked to me a little bit about my endeavors, and which is why I'm thinking about updating episode 000 to a little bit different of an introduction. But
episode 000.5.
Yeah. V1.
Right. Rev 2.
So we'll see. Exactly. Yeah.
Mark 3.
Yeah. So that's this endeavor. We'll see how that comes along. It's weird because I'm nervous and anxious,
right,
but excited to do it. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear it.
Yeah. My website, by the way, is a hot mess. Do you know when there's new terms, and if you don't really pay attention, you kind of miss out on like that your recurring billing was no longer reoccurring. And when your website provider, host, whatever you want to call them, you don't pay your bill, they kind of like take your website and they want lots of money to get it back. And that's why my website looks this way, because I was like, I'm not paying that. I'm going to rebuild it, because I was going to rebuild it anyhow. So it's in the middle of a rebuilding stage. Because if you click on a redesign, yeah. If you click on my name, it goes to this awesome homepage. Ready? Ooh.
There's not much going on there.
No, new site, hang tight. That's all you get. Yep. Anyhow, it happens.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
Never had that problem with Squarespace. This podcast is not sponsored by Squarespace, but
no. Oh well.
It is hosted on Squarespace, which I've never had problems with. It's a little bit more expensive, but
yeah, I haven't had problems with my provider.
Squarespace is kind of like the Verizon of web, having your own website. It's like it costs a little bit more, but you never have to worry about it. There's no like expiration dates, or there's no like, oh, oops, my domain has been taken. Like, it just exists and bills you monthly, and then you never have to worry about it. It just continues to exist.
Well, I should, I'm definitely taking the brunt of the punishment here, that it was my fault that I didn't get that done. So, whatever. It's time for a redo.
You're taking the blame.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
So let's talk you.
So you
tell me about you.
Well, I've signed. Since we last recorded, I've seen a lot of the movies that we were talking about, that we were excited about. Some that we recorded episodes about, and some that we didn't record episodes about. A good portion of the reason why we haven't recorded in a while is A, we've been busy, and B, after getting Ben on the podcast, I really wanted to get some more guests involved, and I had some ideas, and I sent some emails, and I never heard back, and I just was kind of like waiting, because I didn't want to record without the guests if the guests were interested. And then that just caused a situation where we went into like an unplanned hiatus for a little while, where we just stopped recording for a little bit. But that's why we're just kind of like rolling into a relaxed, let's just have a chat episode here. We're trying to make it as easy as possible to record, so that we can actually just do something and get the ball rolling again.
Right. Well, there was conversation too that we thought about maybe, changing up the format a little bit.
We've done that a lot. I do really like the idea of the hyper analyzing trailers, but maybe we kind of lost a little bit of that just having fun and chatting that we used to have. I do think that having a third person involved would be helpful for the having fun and chatting part of the show.
Right.
So I might look into that. Because with just two people, we kind of have to have some sort of structure, like the trailer analysis, just so that we don't kind of get bored and have some downtime. Because when I'm looking something up, and it's whatever. This podcast, how the podcast is set up.
You're right, and just having that guest, because we're like host and
I think it'd be good to have like floating guests, not necessarily the same person every time, but try to just get people involved. I made a post on Twitter today. I don't know when this episode is going to come up. It's probably going to come up or go up later this week. But I did make a post on Twitter today because I'm wearing my Cybertronic Spree shirt that I got over the weekend. And I was like, oh, hey, a couple of those one or two of those band members might be kind of a cool guest to have if they're interested at some point.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that would be. Yeah.
So I might get a hold of them.
Because, the host and co-host thing's entertaining. But when you've watched the host and the co-hosts,
we are boring,
right? So we can constantly get a change of people on here.
There's also a couple other people that I know that have podcasts. One in particularly is Tony Troxel with the Geeking in Indiana or Indiana Geeking podcast. Actually, so that's one of the things that I did recently. I did an interview with him at MRF, which was the Midwest Rep Rap Festival.
Yeah, that's the other thing you've been doing. Yeah,
that's one of the things that I did recently. My company that I work for, See Me CNC, we host this event every year in Elkhart, Indiana. Well, it's in Goshen, but it's at the Elkhart County Fairgrounds. It's called MRF. It's the Midwest Rep Rap Festival. It was the first and currently still is the largest 3D printing related convention. Basically a Comic-Con specifically for 3D printing that's hosted by us. And it's a blast. And every year the crowd gets even bigger and bigger. And this year, Tony Troxel, who's a good friend of mine, he's in the Rebel Legion as a costumer. And he's also got a podcast that I've been following for a while.
Where is he out of Indianapolis?
Yeah, he's in Indianapolis, in the Indianapolis area, I believe.
So I would imagine I've run across him then.
Oh, most likely. But let me look it up right here, quick here. He was at the show and he did a episode on the Midwest Rep Rap Festival. Yeah, Geeking in Indiana or Indiana Geeking. But he did an interview. It's about a 45-minute long episode, if I remember correctly. And you can see here he did an interview with my boss, Steve. Then he did an interview with me. And then he did an interview with Jim Spencer, who has a filament company that he runs.
So did he do those recordings at different times and then put it in one episode?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
There's like transition periods and stuff. But he... and he's actually inspiring me here to get a little bit more organized with our podcast, too. Because look at all these show notes links. He's got everything organized so well. He's got timestamps for when he talked to people or what happened in the episode. So, I don't know. I think that's cool.
Yeah, I'm going to have to check that out.
Mm-hmm. But definitely give that episode a look. It says Year 5, Episode 2. So, Midwest Rep Rap Festival 2019. Give that a listen if you got the time, listeners, because, I'm on it. But there's a lot of really interesting information about the event that we were at over the weekend. And then my company that I work for, and there's an interview with me in there, and Tony's podcast is really cool. So I did that over not this weekend, but last weekend. That was March 29th through 30th or something, or 31st.
Gotcha.
What else have I done? Oh, I also, like the concert that I was just talking about, I went to a concert for a band called Cybertronic Spree.
Right.
Which is a... I'll go ahead. So I won't play the music.
I've never heard of them before until you brought it up to me the other night where you were going. I was like, what? And,
I won't play the music, but I'll go ahead and play like some of the videos in the background here so that people who are watching the video podcast can see kind of what they're about.
Yeah, I had to YouTube it as soon as you told me. I'm like, no way.
Right. But they are a group of very well done Transformers 1980s cartoon movie Transformers cosplayers that do they have a band that they formed together, and they do covers of 80s cartoon and some 80s music in general, but mostly like 80s cartoon music.
Yeah.
And it's
they do a lot of the like they do a variety of 80s stuff. I wouldn't just say that.
They played a lot of music from the 1986 Transformers the movie.
Yeah. Well, you got the Immigrant Song here too.
Yeah, Immigrant Song, and then you've also got they played a lot of
Ghostbusters.
They played Ghostbusters, Pokemon, Power Rangers. They played a lot of basically just 80s TV show themes. G.I. Joe was one of them too.
So
I posted a bunch of videos on my Twitter. So
I was listening to a interview with them as well when I was checking them out, and they actually are doing recordings of their own music now. So did they play any of that?
They played a couple of their original songs. Yeah, they've got some original music as well. And the music videos really aren't too bad. They're pretty well done.
Oh wow!
Like Cybertronic Warrior is an original song. They played that over the weekend, and I'll go ahead and play the music video in the background here. I'm not going to play the music, but yeah, they were really, really good. They played really, really well. And
so how long was their set? Did they have anyone open for them?
They did. They had a guy open for them. Word Burglar, I think is what he was called.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah. But he was a freestyle rapper basically, who apparently travels with them because he did a lot of 80s references, and a lot of his raps were Transformers themed. And one of the guy who was dressed as Rumble, who was the drummer for the night, he was running the he was running the like the beats that he was rapping to basically. That wasn't necessarily my cup of tea. I mean, I went there for 80s rock, so
yeah,
but it was still really good and really well done. He was pretty good at it.
That's cool.
So but he opened, and then the venue was really nice too. It was at the Cleveland House of Blues.
Oh wow.
And it was a beautiful venue. They had 3 bars surrounding it. Basically, it felt like a Comic-Con setup, but for music, where the walls were surrounded, like there was the stage, and then there was the standing area, and then there was the this is riveting audio for an audio podcast, but there was a stage, there was a standing room area, and then there was just behind that was the soundboard and all the audio equipment, and where the audio engineers sat, and then surrounding that were chairs and tables, like bar stools and tall tables where people could actually sit if they wanted to, and then surrounding that, all around the outer walls, were 3 or 4 different bars, and then multiple different sets of bathrooms, and there was art all over the walls and everything, and it was in like the basement. It was a really, really well designed venue. It was really cool.
That sounds really neat. So Shockwave and Rumble are the 2 different drummers, but I'm sitting here thinking to myself, how in the world do they even see what they're playing? One.
Oh, I don't know. It looks like they have like acrylic in their eyes or something like that, so it's shiny, but you can still see through it.
Yeah. And even
Bumblebee wasn't there when we were there over the weekend. Neither was sorry?
No, I was going to say, even playing the guitar, they got gloves on.
Mm-hmm.
And they're still playing. I'm like, it's hard enough to be a musician, I think, but then throw on those.
It's got to be sweaty too.
Ugh, crazy.
And they've got the face makeup too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's entertaining.
But it gives me like a I don't know. It feels like a modern day nerd Kiss vibe, because it's like a rock band plays really good music. And it's all 80s music, but then like they're all wearing costumes and they're all playing these characters.
It's theatrical, yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Have you heard of the band Gwar?
I have.
Gwar.
Only
not the same as Cybertronic Spree.
No, I have, but only because there were a lot of people at the Cybertronic Spree concert that had Gwar merch on.
Wow, how interesting.
Yeah, I saw some hats, I saw some shirts, I saw some hoodies, and I was like, that must be something else that's kind of cool and theatrical and nerdy.
Did you check it out?
No, I never checked it out.
It's a little bit more takes a certain flair and flavor to kind of go, these guys are awesome.
Okay. Sounds like my cup of tea.
They do a lot of kind of, I don't even know what to call it. They're a shock rock band that does dress up cosplay as monsters and demons and weird creatures. And this is an adult show, right? You can be explicit.
I don't know. It's never really been either. I don't care. Why?
Well, they even have phallic costumes that come on stage that.
Oh my god!
Get
nice.
Yeah, there's a lot of fake blood and crazy.
That sounds
stuff.
like a lot of fun.
Yes, in the crowd, you wear a raincoat to the.
Oh, because you're expecting,
because the blood sprays everywhere. Fake blood.
Fake blood.
So.
Fake blood.
Well, yeah, that's.
So I did that. I got a shirt here. I'll show the shirt real quick.
Ooh, wow, that is cool.
Yeah, where it looks like what is that? Motorhead.
Yeah.
Looks like a Motorhead T-shirt, but it's RC with the horns and then the Matrix of Leadership underneath it. I don't know if you can hear me or not because I stepped away from the mic, but
yeah, we could hear you all right. That's cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. Rumble was the drummer, Hot Rod was the main guitarist and one of the lead singers. RC was another lead singer and played the keyboard every now and then. One of the quintessence was another guitarist, and that's a dude with the multiple faces. Another guitarist and another keyboard, and then Unicron there was just I don't know if he was a bassist or another guitarist, but he was just standing there just like he is in the video. He didn't move very much. He wasn't like super animated. He just stood there bobbing his head, chugging away at the guitar. He did all the guitar solos, and he's got a sweet goatee. You could tell he was like the dude who was more into the rock music than the other people were a little bit more into the cosplay. He was just chilling and hanging out. It was awesome. And then Soundwave was just kind of a hype guy. He was just kind of dancing around, adding things, messing around with like cool lighting effects and stuff the whole time. He did. I think Soundwave played the keyboard every now and then too. Oh, cool. I also got a poster. So on my way there, I was really hoping. I was like, man, I hope they have a poster that I can buy.
Yeah.
That is signed by them, but I want it to be signed by them in character. I thought that would be extra cool.
Sure.
Not only did they have that, but it was like it was designed just for me. It's a Star Wars poster. It looks like the original 1977 A New Hope poster that's illustrated with like Luke holding the lightsaber up, and then, but instead of Star Wars characters, it has the Transformers characters, and it says Cybertronic Spree underneath it, and it's Hot Rod holding. I think the Matrix of Leadership up with RC down by his leg, and then the other characters around, and then it's signed with Silver Sharpie by the characters. So there's like a signature that says Hot Rod, and a signature that says RC, and one that says Unicron, and I was like, that's perfect. It's like they made that poster just for me.
Yeah, that is perfect.
So I got the shirt, I got a poster, I got a sticker. They had business cards that had like the tech specs, like from the old Transformers boxes and stuff like that, letting you know like what their strength and intelligence was and all that stuff, which is pretty cool.
Awesome. Anything else going on? Anything new with you? If not, it's been great catching up, and we'll have to then
try to
talk our talk about what we're gonna do.
I am going to Celebration this week.
That's right.
Yeah. So basically, I was presented with a few opportunities where if I play my cards right, I can go to Celebration for at least 3, if not all 5 days, without ever having to buy a ticket.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. My dad has the whole 5 or 6 day ticket package, and he's going to take me a couple days, and then a good friend of mine / customer, Tim O'Sullivan, he's got a fully 3D printed C-3PO costume that he put together with our 3D printer.
Oh, right.
Mm-hmm. And he's going, and he said that his wife is going with him. He has a 6-day or a 5 or 6 day ticket package, and but his wife doesn't necessarily want to go all the days, so she's going to hang out at the hotel, and then I get to use her ticket to get into the event on Saturday, and then I'm going to walk around and take photos of him and help him, be his handler basically while he's in costume.
I was going to say, I didn't know if his 3D printed C-3PO was wearable.
Oh yeah, no, it's absolutely wearable. He designed it to be wearable. And he's got a speaker in there, and he's got things that he can push where it plays lines from the movie and everything.
And you're going to be sharing some of this, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm going to be posting stuff from this event all over. I'm probably going to be posting constantly on Twitter and Instagram stories and stuff.
Awesome. I'll be watching. I'll be looking for it.
I guess that being said, maybe we should just wrap up. I feel like there was more I wanted to talk about, but we've recorded for a little while. We can wrap it up. And I don't know what we're planning on doing for the next episode, but keep a lookout for the podcast. Huh?
Yeah, sorry. We just keep talking over each other.
It's okay.
I was going to say that we could talk for hours.
Yeah.
I know we could. But yeah, we'll we'll be looking forward to.
I definitely want to cover some more trailers coming up soon and talk more about what we've been up to. But
let's get ourselves a guest to join us too. That'd be awesome.
Get a guest to join. I'd really like to get some of these Cybertronic Spree people on here. That'd be awesome.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
Mm-hmm. Or at least like my coworker that went with me to the costume or to the concert. Like it'd be cool if he was on to talk about the concert we went to. But we are recording on a Sunday afternoon, so
yeah.
But yeah, by the time this episode airs, I'll probably be in Celebration. So definitely, or I'll be on my way to Celebration. So you can follow the podcast accounts on Facebook.
Well, I was just gonna say really quick before we end here, we could always do something with the gentleman you were just talking about with the C-3PO printed
Tim O'Sullivan
costume. Tim, we could do something with Tim and reflect back on Celebration and talk about that. That'd be awesome.
It would be a little interesting trying to figure out the logistics of it, but I might be able to convince him to record an episode one of the nights of Celebration. Maybe I can meet him up in his hotel, and maybe I can get you on Google Hangouts and we can do a recording together. That might be cool. Right.
Yeah, let's see if we can figure that out. If not, whatever. But
in the meantime, definitely look up the podcast social media accounts. We don't post too often, but we do post updates when we're planning on doing episodes and what episodes we're planning on, what the content of the episodes are we're planning on doing. You can find us at TWTE Podcast on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. I think Facebook is at TWTE Podcast, or you can just go to www.twtepodcast.com and you can find links to all of our social media accounts. And when I post this episode, I'll put, like I said, with Tony's podcast being so well organized, I want to start putting more. I want to get Tony on the podcast at some point too. I think that'd be
great. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I want to post links to everything we've talked about in the show notes when I get this podcast uploaded. And or you could find me personally at CD Ferris. That's CDFAIRRES on Instagram and Twitter. And then where can people find you, Pete?
You can find me on Instagram at PeteBellaJR and Twitter as well. And my website is PeteBella.com and PeterBella.com. I have it redirected, so either one works because people never know. Like, do we call you Pete? Do we call you Peter? And I'm like, hey, let's just make it easy for everybody. Right?
Hey, Peter.
Peter.
Hey, Peter.
And then, of course, thedesignedpodcast.com will take you directly right to my site as well, where they can find the Designed Podcast. So that's coming soon. And
that's
Facebook.
Coming soon. Yeah. Sorry, I totally messed up that fade.
No.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you everybody for listening. I appreciate it. I definitely appreciate you guys sticking around. And definitely drop us a like. Let us know what you think of the podcast. Rate us, whatever, all that stuff.
Sounds awesome.
All right. Pete, I will catch you later.
Yeah, we're going to do this again really soon.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm looking forward to Celebration. All right, catch you later.